What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Today we're gonna be playing with some new makeup. This is going to be a really dewy summertime kind of face of makeup. I just got this in the mail. This is the new Hourglass Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. I have it here in the shade 3. And they sent this to me with a couple of other shades, this being the best match for me. I'm excited to share this with y'all. I also picked up a couple of Pat McGrath's new liquid eyeshadows. Y'all, at the time of filming, when you click through to this website, it doesn't actually give you the option to buy them. It might just not be loading on my computer, but I'm wondering if something is happening here. Obviously not having the gift of clairvoyance and knowing that she was about to release a new mothership palette, which I'm not interested in, but regardless, these quickly became old news. But we're gonna try them today anyway. I already have a lot of thoughts on them. I also want to show y'all, I haven't gotten a chance to use these on camera yet, but the Naturium Phyto Glow Lip Balms. This one's in spritz. I have all 4 of them though, and they're really, really pretty. And then I wanted to give a little bit more time to the new Salt New York shades because I feel like they didn't really mesh super well with the look that I was creating last time. I think that this one being a little lower coverage, a little bit more like skin, I can use both of them today, especially after swatching Toasted Coconut in my bronzer video. I was like, I want to try that as a bronzer. So might, you know, pull in a couple of other things here, but that's going to be the gist of it. It's going to be pretty chill, pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm tired. I have been getting, like I said, back on my antidepressants, and I'm not sure I ramped up slowly enough because I'm really nauseous. So I need to like go back to the half dose for a minute. I don't know, but yesterday like completely wiped me out. So today I'm going to be starting again with the Tiger Grass color correcting treatment from Dr. Jart, just because I have been really enjoying the results on this. It's just something that my skin seems to really like. It hardly takes any to make a difference. It's got a little bit of extra SPF in it on top of what I've already got on my face. And the green color corrector is just so helpful right now. I am actually going to the esthetician today. We'll see what she sees fit for me. But also, my mommy's coming to visit. Sounds weird. My mom is getting here this evening and I'm so excited. She hasn't seen Simon in like 5 or 6 months or something crazy like that. We're gonna go into the city. My sister just moved to the city. Gonna go in and see her. I'm just looking forward to kind of losing time. I don't give myself credit, but I have been like working my tail off. I've just been burying myself in work. It becomes so normal that you don't give yourself kind of credit for the wins and stuff, and it has just been breakneck. I've just been going, and I'm like, oh my god, it's already, you know, practically the end of July. Yeah, gonna give myself a little bit of a break with family. But anyway, this is, again, the Hourglass Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. This is brand new, and this is in the shade 3. I have not tried this on top of this green color corrector before, so this will be new for all of us, but it's a great shade match. Actually, why am I not using the Hourglass brush that they sent me? So yeah, this is it's just a brush. This is what it looks like. It's very low coverage, kind of like maybe like 1 step up on my arbitrary scale of coverage from like the Glossier skin tint, but it's very that, you know, where it's just giving you this really lovely dewy, hydrated looking finish on the skin with just a little bit of blurring, but it's so hydrated looking. And it's nice because honestly, I don't think I've ever found an Hourglass complexion product that really jived with me. Like a lot of times it's either I don't love the formula or they don't have a shade for me. And so this time we managed to meet in the middle. I mean, you could just as easily do this with your fingers. It's a really nice consistency. It's not finicky. It feels like kind of a cooling gel on the skin. I'm gonna err on the side of going a little bit lighter with my concealer though, because I do feel like we're right there on the edge of what works on me and what doesn't in terms of shade matching. So, all right, so that is $49 and it comes in 18 shades. It is vegan, light coverage, radiant finish, hydrating, long wearing, cruelty free. What it is, a lightweight skin tint that boosts moisture levels by up to 52% for a dewy glow and provides a sheer veil of coverage for comfortable all-day wear. It's got meadowfoam seed oil, hyaluronic acid, and plant-based squalane in it with a radiant finish. I do find that on me, it is like just low enough coverage that I feel a little exposed. Like it's got that thing that's kind of turning my freckles gray, and that makes me a little bit self-conscious. So I am going to, you know, go into something that's got a little bit more coverage. I'm gonna use my Tom Ford Traceless foundation stick here as my concealer to just kind of cover the spots that I feel insecure about. Oh, mom needs to wake up. Maybe I'll just use the, I don't know, let's see if we can just use the tip of it. Come on, Hourglass, you got one bristle sticking out. Is that not just the essence of the vibes right now? Give myself a little bit of lift here. That's nice. I just watched Hindash's latte makeup tutorial. Ooh, boy. That just always inspires me watching him. He just has such a light hand with everything, and everything's always so just considered and blended, and then his model looks so freaking gorgeous by the end of it. Well, it made me want to just go, you know, to Dubai and have him do my makeup, but I definitely like want to try that makeup look that he did if y'all didn't watch it. It's just, you know, the latte makeup is all kind of, it doesn't even have blush in it really, it's all just like browns, and he used all of his like color fluids for it. I found it to be very pretty, very inspiring. So I've been enjoying this I mean, it's a foundation, but I've been enjoying it as a concealer so much lately just because, you know, in the summertime, you do go for a little less coverage a lot of times just because everything's gonna sort of wear off. Although I am really finally happy to be living someplace where it's not 106 degrees for, you know, 90 days straight like it was in Texas. I do count my blessings every day on that. But it helps to have something that is like highly concentrated with a lot of coverage where you need it, because I don't always want like full coverage all over my face this time of year, but it's nice to have something that I can lean on in that respect. So that is in the shade Ivory. No, it's not. It's in the shade Pearl. Okay, let's go with the Salt New York because I'm actually really stoked to see how Toasted Coconut works on me as a bronzer. Like I said, I just did that big bronzer swatching video that, I don't know, I think I was surprised. I thought people were gonna really glom onto that one because everybody's been requesting it so much, but I mean, I'm not mad. It's just everybody's out. Tom pointed it out, said it really well, but everybody's out having fun right now. And that's why they're not really watching a lot of YouTube content, and that's fine. Go out in the summer and have your fun. Wow, Kiki, you've outdone yourself. That is just so gorgeous. Oh my God. This is Toasted Coconut. Absolutely gorgeous. Have I gone a little too far right there? Maybe yes, but that's okay. Also, Lisa Eldridge is sending me her liquid lipsticks to try. So it's not usually my thing, but I am stoked to try. You know it'll be the best version of it, you know, coming from her. So that's really exciting. I just respect her vision. That's another thing too about, I mean, if I'm gonna kind of spoil it a little bit, these Pat McGrath liquid eyeshadows, the easiest thing to kind of compare them to in my mind is the Lisa Eldridge Liquid Lorexes, and they just are disappointing in that respect because they do crease. They're pretty, and I'm gonna show you, you know, what they do, but I'll go ahead and tell you right now, I recommend the Liquid Lorex ahead of them. People have really lost their taste for Pat McGrath. I was so late to the Pat McGrath party that I don't think I ever really became like a stan account. You know, I was just like, oh, neat, cool, I like these. They're shiny, they're sparkly kind of thing, and I ended up with like 2 motherships. And I also, I don't know, I haven't watched it yet, but you know, I do kind of agree, at least with the thumbnail. I agree with her thumbnail. Lauren May has done, you know, a talking about new makeup releases video or whatever, and it's like the death of the palette. And I think that like the palette is kind of dying, and it feels a little bit just like stale and done. And then, you know, Pat McGrath put out that Mothership, and I mean, I really didn't see anybody other than the people in her comments fanning the flames of it. You know, most people were like, it's pink. And she called it Sunlight Seduction instead of Moonlight Seduction, and everybody's like, I think Pat McGrath's out of ideas. Okay, so in the spirit of staying in Kiki's vision here, let's go with some more of her Sparkling Peach. So Sparkling Peach here, that's gonna be our blush moment. It does kind of go in line with my like coral and beige vision, you know? I feel like Kiki and I are kind of on the same wavelength there, except she went deep with the bronzer and fair with the peach, whereas I kind of go the other way. That is so pretty. That is so pretty, Keeks. Oh yeah. How nice. Don't worry, y'all, the this or that video is coming. Like I said before, I have just been both swamped and also just kind of like physically depleted a little bit, and so I feel like I have been almost feeling like I'm behind, even though I'm not, but like the mindset feels that way. And I don't know, I'm just kind of like buried underneath anxiety and stuff right now. So thank you for bearing with me. I think everybody's kind of having a time right now. I'm gonna go with a little bit of powder before we do my eyes, and we can talk about the Cosmos for a second, because I know that a lot of y'all are interested in that. I'm not gonna get, you know, too woo-woo here on you, but there are so many astrological things that have happened this week. It's like the North and South node moved from Taurus and whatever the heck it was in, Taurus and Scorpio into Aries and Libra. And that's anybody who was born between like April 7th of 86 and December 2nd of 87, me. You're experiencing your North and South node return right now, as well as that shift. And so it's like the beginning of a new 18-month cycle, but it's also the beginning of a new 18-year cycle. And then we also had a new moon in Cancer on Monday, which I don't really know. Like every astrologer said was like, ooh, it's a nice intense, like, you know, renewal and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I felt no renewal. I felt just humbled. Natalie and I just keep, every time we're messaging each other, I'm like, the vibes are off. She's like, no, the vibes have chosen violence. Like the vibes are not just off. It is fully intentional, and I feel personally victimized. Yeah, that's how it feels right now. And then we have Venus going retrograde for a long time. It starts on Saturday, the 22nd, and it goes until September 3rd. So I got a text from my friend Hallie the other day. She's like, I think I need some little finger tattoos. And I was like, welcome to Venus retrograde. Oh yes, so it rules everything having to do with like beauty and creativity, and also like, you know, your home hearth, your sacral chakra and stuff like that, I think. And so it's all about like aesthetics, but also like romance and sense of self and things like that. Self-love. I'm looking for, what am I looking for? You. I've been really back into this. This is the About Face Fluid Eye Paint, and I have it in the shade here, Capulets, which is this beautiful beige. It's just a really lovely neutral beige. So yeah, I'm gonna start with this, and then we're gonna go in with Smoldering Seduction in the liquid eyeshadow from Pat McGrath. What did they call these? They're called the Fetish Eyes Longwear Liquid Eyeshadow. I bought 2 shades, and I will swatch the other one for you, but it's not flattering on me. I need to find somebody with like cool undertones to give it to, because it doesn't look right on me. I'm gonna start here with this. This reminds me actually a lot of like Carve from Hindash, so like either way. Just got it all up in my eyelashes. I can like see it. I'm going to use the A501 from BK, Angie Hot and Flashy. I just like kind of a flat, more like painterly brush for this kind of product. Use it to like basically base almost my entire eye, just diffusing up to the brow bone and not all the way into the inner corner. These are so beautiful. The formula is just ridiculous. And when I'm using a color that's this close to my skin tone, it's even easier to work with. This is one of those formulas that makes you go, oh, it must be really easy to formulate something like this. It's like, nope, because I've tried a lot of duds, okay? It's just that they did a really good job. And then I'll take a little bit of that just on a brush here and go underneath my eyes with it as well. I really don't care if it's like messy or blown out, because it's so, like I said, close to my skin tone. So yeah, astrology wise, Mars also just went into Virgo. Mars is my ruling planet. So Mars went into Virgo. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is like trine Neptune or something like that right now. And then Neptune rules Pisces. There's some kind of other connection. So Libra, okay, so yeah, and then like Mars rules Aries. Aries is the North Node. And then you've got the moon rules Cancer. And then Libra, and then there's something with Capricorn. And so it's like activating this like cardinal sign cross or something. I just wish that someone would like hard reset the vibes. That's the main thing, because Venus retrograde is already a lot. And then the node switching, I mean, it's supposed to be good, but I'm not feeling anything good happening right now, personally. We need a vibe hard restart. So this is the one that does work for me color-wise, but I have some misgivings. The first one being, what is this pattern right now of brands putting out liquid eyeshadows that are water-based? Because like, when I go to put this on the back of my hand or whatever, and then I, you know, let it dry all the way down, I appreciate that it does still continue to move a little bit, because like actually when you get this all the way dried down and then you rub your finger on the top of it, I found that it kind of illuminates a little bit more of the glitter in it, and I'll show y'all. In fact, I can show you on the back of my hand here. But then when you like lick your finger, it completely removes it. It's called a long wear eyeshadow, and I'm sorry, nothing water-based, at least on my eyes, is going to be long wearing. And so this creases, even on top of something like this base, it just kind of gets in its own way, which is a shame, because it actually does, unlike a lot of liquid eyeshadows that have shimmer in them, it does actually maintain its luster. And like I said, you can kind of improve on the luster after the fact by kind of rubbing your finger across the top of it. So like there it is, and then you can kind of rub your finger on it like that. And I feel like it takes some of the pigment away, and you end up with actually more of the glitter that starts to come out. But it definitely comes off on your fingers, and then if you were to like lick your finger, right, it comes right off. The LH Cosmetics ones are the same way. I don't know what the logic is, because I don't understand, like I don't want a liquid eyeshadow that's water-based, that washes off straight up with water with absolutely no resistance whatsoever. Because it's really pretty, it is. So if I take my finger and I kind of rub it on my eye like that, it will kind of expose a tiny bit more of the glitter, but it'll also wipe it off. I was really excited because at first they reminded me of it is a now defunct brand that makes me really sad that they're gone. I can't remember what they're called, but they had this gorgeous liquid eyeshadows. Just layering it up a little bit here. They were some of my favorite liquid eyeshadows, and now they are sadly gone. No, I can't believe I can't remember the name. So yeah, that's it built up a bit. But I guarantee you it's gonna crease by the time we're done with this makeup look. So I'm just kind of disappointed by them, because they do set your expectations really high, but I think it's the water-based nature of them that just doesn't work. So I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush that, you know, probably has something remaining on it, but nothing from this look, and I'm just gonna blend the edges, because this will kind of move, the powder will move a little bit after it dries, and so you can get an okay blend on it. I'm gonna be careful not to touch my eyelid though, because I don't wanna like make it get all patchy. I mean, it's fine. There are just better looks that I feel like I can get in easier ways from other products. Like I would far rather use something that actually, you know, I can control and has like a little bit more luster to it than that. It's just like finicky and not particularly high performing for the appearance that you get out of it. Okay, I have the Make Beauty eyeliner here. This was given to me by Natalie when I last saw her in DC. This is in the shade Nebula. It's a beautiful formula. I'm just like really excited to have it on hand. I've been using it pretty much every day since, and I'm just gonna do a really like smoky wing with this, you know, not super precise. Using this old Wayne Goss brush, this is the 07, and just blending that into my lash line. Getting a nice casual wing moment here. Very casual khaki. All right, and I'm gonna do my brows and my mascara, and then we'll come back and talk lips. The eyes look so incomplete. Typically I would darken the outer corner. I want to find something to do that with, and I need to do it on a really delicate brush since I have already done my mascara. I'm just not loving it. I'm not McLoving it. Okay, I'm grabbing the Singe Beauty E02. Very nice, precise little fluffy brush here. And I'm gonna dip it into Noble here in my Rose Metals palette from ABH. This is still, even if the palette is dying, this is still probably my favorite palette in my collection. It's just the most like weird, you know what I mean? It's got like the weird colors in it that aren't anywhere else. I did pull out a couple of singles though to kind of maybe spice up this eye look a little bit because I'm just very uninspired by it at the moment. I'm using a little bit of Sunrose to blend that out and make it look a little more intentional and less patchy. And Sunrose is this like pretty matte right here. I do feel like we're dealing kind of in like non-colors here. Even that Pat McGrath shadow is kind of a non-color. So it's like I kind of want to stay in that non-color vibe. And by non-color, I mean like you can't really put your finger on it. You have to kind of search your brain. You're like, what is that? It's like a soft terracotta marigold, you know? Like that's a non-color. I want to use something a little bit paler. Maybe just my bronzer. Yeah, I've got the Pat McGrath bronzer here. You know, in the spirit of Pat McGrath here, we can just use it to softly diffuse. And then, I mean, this is turning into quite a look, but I'm gonna grab my Kosas, my powder here that I always use, and I'm gonna try to open it. That's the first step. There we go. And I'm just gonna use that to like blur the edges here. It softened the eyeliner, which is nice, and we didn't lose the mascara, which is nice. I'm gonna use a little bit of clear brow gel here. I just have the PYT one on hand. Brush those up and over, get them composed a little bit more. I pulled Sunlit Diamond, which I think might pull the eye look together. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pop Shot. I like that. Yeah, because it pulled in a little bit of Sunrose. And I'll put a little tiny bit underneath my eye as well. I'm gonna use the 210 from BK to do that with, if it'll even pick up on a brush. I think it will. Get a little bit of twinkle under there. Yeah, okay. Also, I want a little bit of inner corner highlight. I feel like we've gotten so much exaggeration everywhere that if I don't, it's gonna look weird. So I grabbed Hindash Boy Tears, and that is what I'm going to apply on my inner corner because it's one of the only things that's actually light enough that it gives like a believable inner corner highlight on me. So many of these actually just darken my inner corner, and that makes me crazy. And it can be as subtle or as punchy as you want. I'm going for just a nice little twinkle today. You know, it might just be this. I have all 4 of these here, so I'll swatch these. These are again, the Naturium Phyto Glow Lip Balms, and they're really beautiful. They're quite pigmented. I mean, not like lipstick or something, but they do have distinct shade differences between the colors. So there are the 4 shades. That bright pink is called Hibiscus. The kind of mauve is called Plum. And then you have the kind of watermelon-y color there. Actually, it's more just like a regular pink, and that regular pink is Goji, and then the very, very like orangey one is called Spritz. And they sheer out really beautifully. So I kind of just feel like the plum color would work great for this, you know? I think that the color that I achieved with the Pat McGrath on my eyes is pretty close to like, you know, a desaturated mauve. Plus it's like pretty close to my lip color. We'll see. I might want to just go for like a true nude. They feel really good. I mean, I've worn them already before this, but they do feel really good. What do y'all think? What do we think? I just don't think that that's it. I think it's like beiger than that, you know? I'm gonna go with Victoria Beckham Bikini, the beigest of them all. I'm all about variety, but at the end of the day, I want it to work, you know? I just want everything to work together, and I want to feel good. Well, that's nice. I do want something else complexion-wise. I just feel like it needs some warmth, which is funny because I think Toasted Coconut gave us a lot of warmth. Let's do a little bit of the LH Cosmetics bronzer, because what tends to happen is that when you're working with an entirely kind of cream or dewy face of makeup, or mostly, it's not so much the colors that are wrong, it's the textures. And so it's like you need some differentiation between textures so that the light doesn't play on your face exactly the same way everywhere. And so this being a powder will hopefully help to like let the cheeks drop back a little bit instead of being so shiny. And I want some more blush. I'm gonna go in with some more of Sparkling Peach and just see how much I can get out of it. It's definitely waking my face up. I think that the shimmer does limit me, you know? It's like you can only build it up so much because of the shimmer. So, give it a little spritz here. All right, let's do some smash or pass on everything that we tried today. Starting with the Hourglass Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. I'm a fan. This is not what I'm on right now because I don't love all the pigmentation on my face. And so I have been using things that do a better job of adding like more coverage with less on my face, and this is very much like a sophisticated, elevated version of like an even more hydrating version of like the Glossier skin tint with like one step more coverage, but not much, you know? I do think it's a winner of a formula though. You will know if that sounds appealing to you. Like, do you have really dry skin and not a huge need for coverage? Like, this is gloriously hydrating. It is like the most dewy skin tint I have used since Glossier. It's so beautiful. But again, it's like I do feel like I want to go in with something really high coverage to compensate because it makes me a little bit self-conscious diddle about, you know, my skin showing through. And it's mainly because not like I'm ashamed of my skin, but more so that a lot of times like skin tints will hit this certain level of coverage where my freckles look gray through it, and that's kind of what this is doing. And that's not a fault on the product, it's just like not the mood I'm in right now. A beautiful finish though. I mean, look at it, it's gorgeous. Kiki's summer release is such a beautiful twist on like what's in style right now as far as like bronzed and like healthy looking cheeks. I just think that these are so beautiful, and I think Toasted Coconut especially is like one not to sleep on for everybody. It kind of has a similar vibe to me to the Chantecaille Cheek and Eye shade in Ray that I praise all the time, because it's like a color that sort of works on everybody as something. And this is gonna be either a bronzer or a beautiful highlight or just some kind of skin enhancing gorgeousness on everyone. Toasted Coconut is really like the one. It's so, so beautifully gorgeous and I really enjoy it. As far as Sparkling Peach is concerned, I really like it, but it's like I'm always gonna wanna complement something like that with something that doesn't have shimmer in it so that I can get the full saturation of a like true local color on my cheeks. And for that, I would probably use like, you know, Persimmon from her or the Armani or something like that. But today I just wanted to show y'all like what it looks like on its own. Pat McGrath, Mama Pat, Pat. We all lose the plot sometimes, and I feel like she's lost the plot a little bit. I'm just a little bit, I mean, I obviously love the eye look that I ended up with today. I think it's very pretty, and I do think that like I didn't end up covering this all the way up, but it is, even though it's not like creasing, it's kind of creasing. Like the pigment itself is losing, like the luster is creasing. We end up with like the base color on there, and then the luster itself is kind of, you know, starting to crease, which is not a huge deal to me, but I'm very self-conscious about the fact that it removes so easily with water, like so easily. So that means that humidity or a splash of anything or your eyes running or whatever, like this is just gonna be susceptible to that. And I just, like I said, it's been this and the new LH Cosmetics, the Sparkle, are both like that. Whereas like the Hindash Color Fluid, good luck getting it off of something once it's dried down. Like it's amazingly long wearing, it doesn't crease. And I wanted to swatch it against the most similar shades in the Lisa Eldridge. Okay, I grabbed a handful actually of things that I think it compares to, just in case you are liking the color, but you don't want to buy this formula. And you might already have some of these in your collection. I think that the closest one I'm seeing is actually Mineralia from Rituel de Fille here. Those are super, super similar. I would recommend Mineralia over it all day long. So that's Mineralia. And that, sorry, this is the powder shadow from Rituel de Fille, and then that again, what was that one even called? Called Platinum Bronze. Starting to feel like I used the wrong one. I thought that Platinum Bronze, oh wait, I do have both of them. Huh, hiding in plain sight. This is the one that I used, right? Yeah, I used Smoldering Seduction. Okay. I'm really sorry, y'all. So I will actually swatch both of these for y'all. Because yeah, it's actually Platinum Bronze that does not look very good on me. It's just too cool toned, as you can see. And then this is the one that I'm actually wearing right now. Right? Yes, I read it out loud first. I feel like I'm losing my mind. So Mineralia is really similar to that. And then I have Exuvier from Rituel de Fille, which is in the old container. So I'm having to get it out with my fingernail. And that one is fairly similar to the one I'm wearing on my eyes right now. Look at that. Look at that. I feel like you could get these from Rituel de Fille very easily. I'm sure anyone who is a fan of this kind of formula is wanting to see Danessa Myricks Celebration swatched here. It's right in between the two. You know, it's got a little bit of the taupe and it's also got a little bit of the red. And the Lisa Eldridge shadows, I feel like are like a little bit more like off the beaten path than that. They're not quite so similar. So I have Viola here and she's gonna be a little bit more purple. I have Diana and it's gonna be more copper red. Lauren is more of a true gold. Titania still has that bronziness, but it leans green. This looks a little bit like Mink though. I'm gonna pull Mink really quickly and that'll be it, okay? I'm gonna pull Mink from Victoria Beckham. Okay, so I slid that swatch in there. Mink has a lot more luster, but it has, you know, a similar kind of base color and then it's more of that silver pewter shift. But I think that when you do blend this out and you lose a little bit of that shimmer, they become extraordinarily similar. But I would still say that Mineralia and Exuvier are the ticket for trying to achieve these shades without having to buy these shades. And I think that the Rituel de Fille formula performs a lot better. I love when things work out like that. It's like I can give you something that's really concise, easy to remember. Both colors can be matched really well with Rituel de Fille. So that's the vibe today, y'all. I'm a little low key, I know. I'm trying and I know we all are, okay? I think that the main thing, it's not so much like, I need to take a break or something like that. It's like, oh, Khaki, take care of yourself. We'll be here when you get back. Like, I get that, but this is actually what keeps me sane. And so I appreciate y'all letting me arrive and show up to this even when I'm not feeling my absolute best, because it's like more of a gift to me than you know, to be able to still have the community and, you know, share with y'all even when I'm kind of feeling a little bit subpar. I'm not exactly like, you know, full-blown khaki today, and I feel it, I know y'all feel it, but I feel better now that I've put some makeup on and I'm glad that we did it together. So if y'all did enjoy this, please do give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, I heard it's a thing that cool people do. Cool people subscribe, it'd be cool if you did. And I will put a video up here that I think that y'all will enjoy. If you liked this one, I love you so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!